Hi, so this is video journal number 4, I believe, on the role of radio in politics. I listened to 3 talk show radios. The first one I listened to was Bill Bennett's Morning in America, and it's from Texas. The political viewpoint in that station is very conservative, like super Republican, very Southern. The issues that were discussed mostly in death risk, he really focused a lot on early voting and how he didn't agree with it, simply because he feels that it's important for everyone to get the full story or the full voting time before they commit to their vote. He also talked about, he was just pro Romney in so many ways. He touched on the debate not a lot. It actually wasn't Bill Bennett because it was Friday night, so it was Mark Davis. He was the talk show host of The J at that time. The second one I watched was NPR, and it was very middle ground. It was, they didn't really favor one candidate over the other. It was very equal and even. NPR talks about unemployment and how it has dropped since Obama's been in office, and also how, Romney didn't really want to talk about that. I didn't listen for too long, but they also talked about gas prices, and I feel like NPR was like the middle ground of the 3 I watched. The last one I watched was Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT AM and FM 820, and that's obviously in Chicago. They were pro-Obama, very democratic. They talked a lot about the debate and how much they didn't agree with Romney or anything that he said, and that he didn't really go into details and all the stuff he talked about. I felt that they did a lot of like fact checking is what they call it. There's a guy on there from Salon.com, I guess some fact checking website, and they did a lot of stuff. They talked a lot about that. They also talked about the future vice presidential debate between Joe Biden and Paul Ryan. And one thing that they talked about I really liked was the whole idea of people saying that, oh, President Obama didn't do enough with combating what Mitt Romney had to say if he didn't agree. A point they brought up was that, is it really Obama's job to like run after Romney and like always tell him, oh, I don't agree with that, oh, I don't agree with that, or like always trying to refute whatever he says, just because if he would have done that, then it also would have been negative, saying that, he let Romney run the show essentially, and Obama would have never been able to bring up his own points. But yeah, the programs that I listen to, what they say currently about politics and communication in our culture is that essentially that there's so many different ways you can get the same type of information. You can either go to a very left-sided type of radio show or a very right-sided type of radio show, or one in the middle, kind of like NPR, to get your information, and it all depends on what you seek and who you seek after. Also, that it's so accessible to get so much information, regardless of, I guess, the biases that they have, but it's so accessible. I think this was a great experience for me because I kind of sometimes feel as if I'm left out of the loop a little bit when it comes to politics, especially because I don't like watching the news, and I don't necessarily have as much time as I would like to watch the news. And I was able to watch these shows or listen to these shows rather, on the website, so it was so much easier and more accessible. So I feel like for the next couple of weeks coming up until the election, I'll definitely use these as sources just to get more information, so I'm not left in the dark about anything. But overall, I felt like the hosts were really concerned with real problems and, well, not necessarily solutions, just problems. They were just throwing out their opinions on issues that they had, but they didn't really talk about how they could solve them. But it's not really their job to talk about the solutions. But yeah, I really like this assignment. It was pretty cool. So yeah, here's my video journal. Bye.